So my concern is on the tariffs. Who pays tariffs, Mr. Secretary? No. Answer the questions I asked, please. I only have 5 minutes. Who pays tariffs?
Sorry. Well,
who pays tariffs?
Sorry,
Mr. Secretary, please.
Excuse me.
The question is very simply, who pays tariffs, Mr. Chairman? I'd like him to answer that question.
Well,
he wants to answer other questions.
Well, Congressman, if the exporters dislike tariffs so much, why wouldn't they? If I think what you're trying to get me to say.
Did you remember the question? I'm not sure you did. Who pays tariffs?
It's a very complicated question.
Reclaiming my time. People pay tariffs, right? Reclaiming my time.
Friends, sometimes I think, if we can't even get a proper answer to the simplest economic question in America, why are we still entrusting these people with the economy? The question asked in Congress was very clear. Who pays tariffs? And our big minister, sipping cocktails among his billionaire friends, dodges the question with, that's a very complex issue. Come on. It's not complex, brother. The consumer pays. So me, you, the worker getting their car repaired, even families waiting for toys for Christmas. All of us. But of course, what matters to the Trump administration is the investor conferences in Beverly Hills. Our concern is Main Street. There's his Wall Street. By the way, think about it. Who do you think is paying? Write your thoughts in the comments. Let's see who's doing the more realistic math. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so we can expose these absurdities together.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And thank you, Mr. Secretary, for being with us. On tariffs, the fact that last year we had an effective rate of about 2.5%. I think the Yale Budget Lab, and I believe you went to Yale, has said that effective rate is closer to 28%, the highest since 1901. I know that some of that's changed because the tariffs are on again, off again, some on again, some off again, somewhat chaotic. I believe as your term is what, Crazy Ivan style. I compare them to how a monkey throws dung. You're not exactly sure where they're going to land. And that's the concern I have as a small business owner, and I know Ms. Glusenkamp-Perez is as well. You know, I've got small businesses really worried. You made a comment about while cargo volumes have dropped 60%, you see this as a temporary detox. But for a small business that's getting by day to day, that's much bigger. You talked about Main Street. We want to finally focus on Main Street, not Wall Street. I think you were at a global investor conference in Beverly Hills yesterday. That's the cocktail party where you mentioned the Crazy Ivan theory. And before that, you were at a JP Morgan Chase World Bank private investor summit. All those things are not Main Street, right? Main Street is an auto body repair, a specialty printer. So my concern is on the tariffs. Who pays tariffs, Mr. Secretary? No. Answer the questions I asked, please. I only have 5 minutes. Who pays tariffs?
Sorry. Well,
who pays tariffs?
Sorry,
Mr. Secretary, please.
Excuse me.
The question is very simply, who pays tariffs, Mr. Chairman? I'd like him to answer that question.
Well,
he wants to answer other questions.
Well, Congressman, if the exporters dislike tariffs so much, why wouldn't they? If I think what you're trying to get me to say.
Did you remember the question? I'm not sure you did. Who pays tariffs?
It's a very complicated question.
Reclaiming my time. People pay tariffs, right? Reclaiming my time, Mr. Secretary. Reclaiming my time, Mr. Secretary. Reclaiming my time. You clearly aren't going to answer. I'm not going to waste my time having you go, Mr. Secretary, Mr. Chairman, I asked reclaiming my time.
Tariffs.
Mr. Chairman, and I asked to reclaim my time. Did I not? No, I said reclaiming my time because he's clearly not answering it. So, yeah, so as a small business owner, and unfortunately I'd like that time back since you failed to recognize me for 30 seconds. So I just recently from one of my suppliers got the tariff surcharge on things. And in addition to the tariff surcharge, guess what else got raised? American-made walnut plaques. That has nothing to do with tariffs, but companies take advantage and do that. So right now, we are getting screwed right and left because of the indiscriminate use of tariffs. That's the reality for Main Street. And you go off to Beverly Hills for private investor conferences and talk about Crazy Ivan theories. Answer that. What is the Crazy Ivan theory of tariffs that you mentioned at the summit?
Well, first of all, sir, I've had meetings with more than 50 small lenders. So I want to clarify that. I would also say that in game theory, strategic uncertainty, of which you seem to like the name Crazy Ivan.
Well, it's your words, correct? Didn't you use Crazy Ivan at the?
Well, you've used it 5 times. And
answer the question, Mr. Chairman.
I am saying the strategic uncertainty is part of negotiations. Should we say,
Okay,
here's what we'll accept. Please take this.
Okay, I've got your answer. Thank you. I'm going to reclaim my time again. So for a small business, we don't have that luxury, right? When the ports are empty in California and we can't get goods and people are stocking up for Christmas goods, Crazy Ivan is great for, please don't take this offense, really rich people like you, but for people like me, it's not, right? That's what makes small businesses fail. That's what makes people lose their jobs. That's what makes the stock market tank. So I'll ask one more time, who pays tariffs?
Sir, the history would show that it is a complicated mix of who pays the tariffs over various times.
So that's exactly the problem. If your answer, and you are a very educated person, you have a very impressive bio, cannot answer the question who pays tariffs because you won't answer that, and you say it's a complicated issue, it's not complicated. Consumers pay Trump's tariff tax. That's the reality. And I'll yield back, Mr. Chairman, but I do think next time if I asked to yield back, I would appreciate having my time yield back.
Let's take a look back at history. We've seen the highest effective tariff rate since 1901. Previously, the U.S. had only faced such rates during wartime, during national mobilization periods. But Trump and his team started this just to take a shot at China. You know, that we'll win, they'll lose logic. Remember? He said, trade wars are good and easy to win. Easy to win, huh? Now American small businesses are struggling, importers can't breathe, and cargo volumes have dropped by 60%. Where's the easy win? Ask that question not to me, but to the small manufacturer forced to close down. But of course, from Trump's perspective, it's simple. Pass the bill on to the public, blame China, then boast in front of the cameras that we made a great deal. Ridiculous, and the most frustrating part is that you can't get a sincere answer from these people. In Congress, when asked, who pays the tariffs, there's no answer. They just repeat the same phrases. It's a complex issue. Exporters don't like it, and so on. Come on, admit it. The consumer is paying. Do you know why they can't admit it? Because it would debunk Trump's economic miracle fairy tale. Because what they sold as Make America Great Again actually turned out to be make groceries more expensive again. And the irony is that Republicans claim to defend small businesses. Now we see small businesses themselves saying, we've been stabbed in the back. That's the hypocrisy. What do you think? Can they still say America first at this point? And then there's this Crazy Ivan business. You know, the tactic you see in movies where you suddenly turn the ship 180 degrees to surprise your opponent. This gentleman has adapted it to international trade. He says, strategic uncertainty. In other words, let no one know what we're going to do. Let everyone stay on edge. But who is this everyone? China? No, China is somehow adjusting itself. Europe? They are also finding alternatives. The real everyone is us. Our small businesses, workers waiting for goods at ports, people bringing bread home to their families. Crazy Ivan may be a theory for them, but for us, it's a reason for bankruptcy. It's a strategy for the rich, a disaster for the middle class. And we're still treating these guys like economic geniuses. Stupid, really stupid. And look, the social dimension of the issue is even more striking. Companies are not only raising prices due to tariffs, but also finding excuses to increase the prices of American-made products. Remember the example of American-made walnut plaques mentioned in Congress. Not imported, but domestically produced. But prices are rising because of market panic. So Trump's tariff policy is hitting not only the outside, but also the inside. The result? Unemployment on Main Street, regional crises, closed shops. But Wall Street? They're watching the Crazy Ivan wave and adjusting their hedge funds to minimize losses. So the game is the same: risk for the public, profit for the elite. And are we still supposed to believe those who say, these people are working for the public? In the end, the question is simple. Who pays tariffs? The answer is also simple. Us. The people. Through taxes, rising prices, lost jobs, and shrinking wallets. And the Trump administration still can't admit it because all those big economic victory stories would go down the drain. But you can't escape the truth. When history is written, it looks at the people's pockets. Don't forget that. Tell me, who really won this tariff war? Write your comments, let's discuss it. And please, subscribe to help spread these truths to more people. Because the Trump propaganda machine is running 24/7, and we need to tell the truth too.